This beautiful woman on the end is Sister Tremaine Hawkins. And what can I say about the baby girl? Yeah. This is my friend, and I love her with my heart. This is Lynette Hawkins Stevens. And I don't know if we can get that camera into the audience right there. I don't know if we can get that camera right over here to Bishop Hawkins' baby girl, the beautiful Tristan Hawkins right there. So this is all going to be quite impromptu tonight, just really impromptu. And I saved the best for last. You know, it was in 1969. It was in 1969, a young man who formulated a choir from Church of God in Christ up in Northern California. And they recorded, I guess, to a two-track at that time. To a two-track. And they recorded a whole lot of songs, you know, That's Just Like Jesus and a whole lot of songs. But there's one song that kind of, I think you may know it. You may know it, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's my New York accent. I'm not sure. But this guy, this man, this brother wrote a song called Oh Happy Day. His name, ladies and gentlemen, is Edwin Hawkins. So right now tonight on TBN we have a stage full of living legends and legacy. This is a real special moment. It's a real special time. It is a celebration of the life and the ministry of a man. And I just want you to see him and know him in a way that you may not have seen him before. But I have to start with Edwin. I've got to start with you, sir. I can't help it. He started this whole thing. I can't go overseas without singing. Now, I got a lot of good songs. I really do, honestly. I wrote some songs, and I thought they were good. You know, Stand, you know.
Great song.
We Fall Down. That's good. You know, that's cute. That's cute. You know, Stand, woo, We Fall Down, woo, you know, Speak to My Heart, woo. Yeah, that's nice. And after I do all of my songs, you know, and I'm sweating, you know, thank you. You hear somebody in Japan holler, "Oh, happy day!" I'm walking through a Japanese mall and I'm hearing music. Oh, happy day. And you thought you did something until you realize that there are billions of people who sing this song that are not necessarily Christian, but it has impacted their lives and their hearts. It all started with Oh, Happy Day. Edwin Hawkins. Take us, if you will, on a journey. Walk us back, because just about everybody on this stage was with you during that time in 1969. Take us back. Well, I didn't mean that like that. Wait, I didn't mean, no, Jesus. And take us back to a young Edwin Hawkins, teaching the choir, 4- and 5-part harmonies, which was not done.
You mean a younger Edwin Hawkins?
Yes, a younger Edwin Hawkins, just not too many years ago. And, you know, you had harmonies like nobody else had. You had a choir. It must have been over 100 people in that choir.
Not quite.
But the harmonies were so diverse and different. We had never heard anything like that in gospel music. Yeah. Tell us how all that started.
Well, in our home, we grew up and we heard all kinds of music. My father back in the day was not a Christian. And my mother's aunt, who was going to college, also lived with us. So we heard country, western, we heard jazz, we heard the blues, and of course my mother bought everybody's gospel projects. So we heard all of that, and it influenced me growing up. You know, we began to create. And before I started writing, though, I was just doing a lot of we would take songs from the Caravans, the Roberta Martin singers,
Wow.
the Clara Ward singers, Joe May, and then later on James Cleveland, all of those gospel greats. And we would do something a little bit different just so we wouldn't be copying per se. If we didn't know for sure what they were saying in the lyric, we would make up a lyric to make it work. Children, you do that. Some of it sounded like what they were saying. But I remember we were raised in Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal, and great background, good foundation. We went to church. I remember seeing Dad Cleveland. I think my first time seeing Dad Cleveland was probably at an A.A. Allen meeting, and I was so impressed with him as a person. I told my parents, I said, I want to go to that church where Dad is, Dad Cleveland is. And I was the first in my family to go there. Then the rest of them, they followed me there. And I became the organist at the age of 16. And my first trip on the road with evangelists was going on the road with Bishop Ernestine Reams and her brother Elmer Cleveland Jr. I think we went to Philadelphia and then Chicago. And that was my first experience as a musician on the road with someone.
Wow.
But we... being raised in Church of God in Christ, you know about the conventions that we do every year. It used
Every
to be
year.
the Youth Congress.
Right.
There was, what was the Sunday School meeting, Women's Convention, all those different conventions. And L.A. had always been represented for California, from Southern California, with Andre Crouch and wonderful talented singers from Southern Cal. Northern California never represented, there just was nobody there to do that. So I had the idea, and I went to the youth leader of that particular state. Northern California was the state was split into several different areas, even though it was all California. And I said, well, can we do a choir to represent Northern California? And he said, well, why don't you get with Betty Watson, who's our state minister of music. So I got with Betty Watson, and we put together a choir. And, of course, Walter and Tremaine, they were all with me from the beginning. Most of my family was there. My older sister was married, started having children, so she had gone somewhere else. But we did sing together in somebody's, as little children, the Hawkins family sang in somebody's church literally every Sunday afternoon. And, of course, they condemned my mom because we were singing in somebody's Baptist church. Them folks wasn't saved back in the day.
Y'all don't understand.
They weren't saved back in the day. They saved now, they speak in tongues, but they weren't saved then.
To the Baptists that are watching,
right.
He's only kidding.
That's what they told us. But anyway, I've learned better since. I know that denomination, we won't find that word in the Bible at all.
You surely won't.
Because it causes division. That's something that man did.
That's right.
We're aware of that. But as the story goes, there was usually a competition between the choirs from all over the country. Am I right, Andre? The first night of the Youth Congress. Yeah. And choirs from everywhere. And we went to compete. And the album had not been released yet. So we did, I think, Jesus Lover of My Soul, and I think Joy Joy or something like that. And Oh Happy Day was not our favorite song.
Wow.
Joy Joy was, and Jesus Lover of My Soul. We did that, and we came in second place, our first time going. So we were really excited about that, coming in second place, our first time. So on the return of home, we decided we'd stay together and do community things, concerts around the Bay Area. So we did this 2-track recording live at the Ephesian Church of God in Christ in '68, I think it was. It was released on a custom label by a Mormon who owned a record label, a custom label, and we released it. Some young man in the shipping of that I've never met to this day took that record to a friend of his that was at a rock underground station in San Francisco. KSAN they called it. It hit in San Francisco. They sent it to their friends in New York. It hit there and kind of merged across country. And then all the gospel stations wanted to claim that they were the cause of it being a hit. Well, we thank God that they played it, but the story goes on and on and on and on. But Walter played organ on that album, and of course Tremaine sang Joy Joy, and in all that choir you could hear Tremaine's soprano
no matter
ringing.
What. Her and Ruth Lyons.
That's
her
right.
And
You got
Ruth
it.
Lyons.
You got it.
I would sit and listen to every one of those records. They was records then. They were albums. They were 33 and a half.
That's right.
And I would listen to them. And what we used to do is we used to read We used to read the back
That's right.
of every CD, every record. And who's this? That's Ruth Lyons. That's Tremaine Davis. Oh my God. And we didn't know who they were, but it was the whole thrill of it.